The Nightmare of a Family, the Pladl tragedy. In 2018, a shocking case unfolded in the United States, originating in New York and culminating in a series of devastating events in North Carolina and Connecticut. The case involves Stephen Pladl, Katie Fusco, and the unforeseen consequences of a family reunion. This story serves as a cautionary tale about the complexities of family dynamics, the failures of the legal system, and the warning signs that went unheeded. Let's examine the timeline of this case based on police reports, court documents, and publicly available information. Background: a fractured family and a reunion. In 1995, 20-year-old Stephen Pladl met Alyssa, a 15-year-old from Texas, through an online chat room. Their relationship progressed rapidly, leading to Alyssa's pregnancy in 1996. In 1998, they welcomed their daughter, Denise, but the pressures of young parenthood strained their relationship. Alyssa later revealed that Stephen exhibited controlling behavior and caused harm to Denise, prompting the decision to place her for adoption when she was 8 months old. Denise was adopted by Kelly and Anthony Fusco in Dover, New York, and renamed Katie Rose Fusco. Stephen and Alyssa remained together, raising 2 more daughters, Emily and Sophie, in Henrico County, Virginia. However, their marriage was fraught with tension and eventually dissolved. In 2016, Katie, now 18, reconnected with Stephen and Alyssa via Facebook, seeking to learn about her biological family. This reunion initially brought joy, particularly for Stephen, who carried quiet regret for giving Katie up for adoption, the beginning of the tragedy. In August 2016, Katie moved in with Stephen, Elisa, and her younger sisters in Virginia. At first, the arrangement seemed positive. Katie, a talented young woman with dreams of attending college and working in advertising, integrated well into the family. Stephen appeared to find new purpose in his role as a father, spending significant time bonding with Katie. However, within months, troubling signs emerged. Alyssa noticed that Stephen and Katie were becoming unusually close, crossing boundaries typical of a parent-child relationship. She shared her concerns with Stephen's mother, Grace Pladl, but these were initially dismissed as misunderstandings. By November 2016, Alyssa could no longer tolerate the situation and left, taking Emily and Sophie with her. She confided to Grace that Stephen and Katie were engaging in inappropriate behavior, including Stephen spending time in Katie's room at night, an unacceptable relationship and its consequences. By spring 2017, Stephen and Katie moved to Knightdale, North Carolina, living together in an isolated home. Alyssa later discovered through her 11-year-old daughter Emily's journal that Stephen and Katie were involved in a romantic relationship. Emily described them as a couple and noted that Katie was pregnant. This revelation prompted Elisa to report the situation to the police, leading to the arrest of Stephen and Katie on January 27, 2018, on charges related to incest and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. While awaiting trial, Katie gave birth to a son, Bennett Kirian Pladl, in September 2017. The court placed Bennett in Grace's care. Stephen and Katie were released on bail with strict conditions prohibiting contact, but they violated these terms. It was later revealed that they had secretly married in July 2017 in Maryland, falsifying documents to conceal their biological relationship. The events leading to tragedy. Stephen's mental state deteriorated significantly after the arrests. His calls to Grace revealed an increasing obsession with Katie, coupled with paranoia and anger toward others. On April 10, 2018, Katie, who was living with her adoptive parents in Dover, New York, called Stephen to end their relationship, expressing her desire to rebuild her life. Stephen reacted with intense anger. On April 11, 2018, Stephen visited Grace in Knightdale and asked to take Bennett, claiming he wanted to bring him to New York to see Katie. Despite her unease, Grace had no legal grounds to refuse. That was the last time she saw Bennett alive. The next morning, Stephen called Grace, confessing to a series of horrific acts. He had killed Bennett, Katie, and Katie's adoptive father, Anthony Fusco, before taking his own life. The murders and police findings. On the morning of April 12, 2018, police arrived at the home on Earlston Court in Knightdale and found Bennett's body, 7 months old, in a closet, deceased due to asphyxiation. That same day in New Milford, Connecticut, Katie and Anthony were found dead in a pickup truck shot through the window with an assault rifle. Witnesses reported seeing a man in a green minivan firing at the vehicle before fleeing. 18 miles away, in Dover, New York, police located Stephen's minivan, its engine still running. Inside, Stephen was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Investigative reports indicated Stephen's actions were premeditated. He killed Bennett first, then drove over 600 miles to track Katie and Anthony, knowing their routines. Psychologists later suggested Stephen may have suffered from a personality disorder, possibly narcissistic, driving his need to control Katie even in death. Analysis, lessons from the case. The Pladl case is a multifaceted tragedy that raises questions about responsibility, oversight, and mental health. First, the legal system failed to recognize Stephen's level of danger. Granting bail with lenient conditions and delays in case processing created opportunities for the tragedy to unfold. Second, warning signs about Stephen's behavior, from his controlling past with Elisa to his obsession with Katie, were overlooked or inadequately addressed. Finally, the case underscores the importance of early intervention in complex family dynamics, particularly when mental health or behavioral issues are present. The Pladl tragedy claimed 4 lives: Katie 20, Anthony 56, Bennett 7 months, and Stephen 42, in a violent sequence unimaginable to those involved. Those left behind, including Grace Pladl, Elisa, and the Fusco family, face enduring grief. This story serves as a reminder of the fragility of family relationships, the consequences of ignoring warning signs, and the critical need for mental health and legal support to prevent such tragedies.